Hi, welcome back to Docker presentation series. So in the last presentation, we talked about two problems that could occur in the software deployment, and we also seen two solutions for one is hardware virtualization and another is operating system virtualization. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about hardware virtualization. So let's see what is hardware virtualization. Now, hardware virtualization means running of multiple simulated computers on one physical machine, which is also known as host machine, each having its own operating system. These simulated computers are known as virtual machines or VMs in short. These VMs operate in their independent environments with their own file systems, processes, and network configurations. In order to provision hardware virtualization, a special software called hypervisor needs to be installed on the host machine. So basically it is like you have a host machine, a physical real machine. In that we are going to have non-physical machines, but actually another machine completely isolated from the host machine. So like there could be multiple such machines available in the original machine. So they are like it's totally different machine, but they are not. They are actually part of the original host machine. And how we can create them? Using a special software called hypervisor. So hypervisors are used to create virtual machines or not so real machines, but they are real but they look like real machines. They act like real machines because they have their own file system, network, RAM, everything looks same. That's pretty much what is meant by hardware virtualization. Now, if you want to take an analogy, example for hardware virtualization to a real world, it's like um, it's like a single building divided into multiple apartments or flats, right? So you have a big apartment complex where you have several flats. Each flat it seems to be a separate property, right? So in each flat, one family lives in, right? So they're all separate homes, but they are all in the same building where you have the base for the apartment complex is same, foundation structure is same, all that certain things are common, but at the same time each flat has its own kitchen, other rooms, and it's a totally different unit. So that you can call it as hard. So basically you have a underneath physical foundation structure, which is the host machine. In that you have several other flats or other machines like that, right? That's what hardware virtualization means. Now let's say let's say a kitchen is like the indication for it is a complete machine, right? So that's where we get the energy from. So it's pretty much what it is. So yeah, let's see the diagram, VM virtual machine architecture diagram. Now in this you can see this is the underneath hardware, physical hardware, where you have operating, where you have RAM, processor, network cards, hard disk, everything is there in this hardware machine. Now on top of that we have this host operating system. So this is where the this is actually connected to the physical machine. This is where actually everything is hosted on. On top of host OS we have a special software called hypervisor. For example, VMware is a hypervisor software where it allows to create virtual machines. Without this you can't create virtual machines. You need a special software. So this software is tied to the operating system. For example, this is a Windows operating. Then this software should be VMware. Let's say this host OS is Linux. It should be Linux. So that's how it should be, basically based on the operating system. Now you see, we have this hypervisor on this one. This guy can create multiple VMs. So this is one VM, this is another VM, this is another VM. So 3 VMs are there. Now you see in each VM we have its own operating system. So that's called the guest operating system. So it's completely a machine, different machine. All of this is a new different machine which is hosted on top of the existing machine. So this is how this is architecture. Now you see in this machine you have binaries, applications. You can do whatever, you can have whatever you want to have. This is pretty much how it is organized. This is like building base, and these are individual apartments. This is how it's kind of organized. But in order to do that, you need a special software called hypervisor. This is the architecture of virtual machines. Now, so we will in this presentation we have seen the architecture of virtual machines. In the next presentation, we will see the operating system virtualization. So thank you.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe VNR Digital Learning Resource YouTube channel.